Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Shiv Nadar Foundation Conversations. In the world we find ourselves today, where there is this unprecedented situation which none of us in our lives would have ever thought of or imagined. And on top of that, we have an incessant flow of information, sometimes which is like bombardment and pretty unnerving too. In such a situation, the Shiv Nadar Foundation, therefore, created this platform, Conversations, where we bring to everybody inspiring stories of leaders from across various fields, artists, diplomats, actors, sportspersons, and all those who've lived inspiring lives. Their stories come to you through these series. As all of you are constituents who are students, teachers, faculty, parents, alumni, our partners, all of you are bracing the situation. We felt it was imperative to let some of these unique voices come to you live, directly to you in your homes. And I hope these conversations inspire you, uplift you, even while you're in isolation. It is my honor, indeed, to welcome in our midst and to introduce none other than the versatile Ustad Shujaat Khan, one of the leading classical musicians of our country. Ustad Shujaat ji is the son of the legendary Ustad Vilayat Hussain Khan, whom the world knows, and he has played for audiences around the world. He has also played along with artists such as Tom Rees, Karsh Kale, Kevin Hayes, and many others. His album with an Indo-Persian ghazal ensemble, The Rain, was nominated for the 2004 Grammy. So, ladies and gentlemen, all of you who are here, who've joined in live, a warm welcome on your behalf to Ustad Shujaat ji. Over to you, Shujaat ji.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you. I want to say thank you so much to you and to the foundation to invite me here and have me here. I know we are, as we struggle through all different things. So I'm very, very grateful to the tech team of HCL and Shiv Nadar Foundation who have struggled so much, and it's an uphill task to get me to actually be here live. I'm in a place where we have intermittent internet, and then it's a great struggle for them. And then, of course, my low tech. So we have somehow got here. But thank you once again for having me.
It's wonderful, Shujaji, to have you here and talking about all of the digital world and the age that we are living in. May I probably pose to you the very first of the questions that come to my mind? In this digital age when attention spans are kind of dwindling, music in general, and of course, classical Indian music in particular, there's lots happening. But to find, there is a bit of a battle you wage to find young audiences. What do you feel about these times, and what do you feel about the music, the rich repository of music, the rich repertoire of music? Over to you.
I have very different thoughts on everything. I've had always, as a childhood, I was targeted. No. I was marked as a rebel. which of course was okay with me at that time, but I there was always a cause, there was always a thought behind it. For example, you just said something, and I totally agree with you. I understand.
Mhm.
I think it is a great idea to involve uh, younger people in our music, but it has to be a balance. I don't want them to be force fed. If you force feed young people anything, and then specifically if it's a serious art form, if it's a deep art form like our music, they get scared. So to
Yes.
get it across to them in short bursts, in a relaxed manner, as you do, I've come and performed for the different schools, and you have hosted me there. Thank you so much. To give them
Yes.
a more relaxed thing, I need them to understand that we are human beings like them, and we are just working with a art form which is very traditional, and we both can get together and enjoy it in all its different intensities.
And I'm so glad you say so, Shujatji, because in our school, as the principal of the school, which has this great, I would say, an opportunity where we have music flowing through the veins of the school, and especially music which is rich in its ancestry and yet very innovative in a stance where people can invent, innovate. Thank you for saying that, because I'm glad that our students, given the environment, take to music of all kinds, all genres, but also to classical music. And since you spoke about a bit of a rebel in you, and that is why we get this very, very rich music, versatile music that you have created. Would you like to talk a little about your early years? I'm sure that must have taken a lot coming from, Saat Pushto Ka Aapka. You have such a great ancestry, and you kept all of the sanctity and the dignity of those seven generations, and yet you created something new. How was your childhood like, Ustadji, now that we have you here?
Uh, I have very often I have tried to keep away from talking too much about my childhood because I don't want younger people to get scared. It's been a very difficult childhood, not from but I hope youngsters can realize that I am talking only from the point of view of a musician, but altogether we are talking about uh, get achieving something. And when you're very young and you realize, and people around you realize that you have a special talent, then just having a talent is not enough. We have lots of young people around me who I see who have enormous talent, but to understand that talent has to be honed, it has to be sharpened and to get across to people. So my childhood, yes, apart from the time that I spent a little time going to school, studies, yes, I.
I think we've lost Shujatji for some time, but it was interesting listening to the difficulties any creative person who steps out of a convention has to face. I think when he gets back, we will get to know more about the journey of his life, which has inspired many and created one of the most beautiful genres of music, one of the most nuances of the Gaiki Ang, which we will come to later as we get him on again.
Uh,
Thank you. You're back again. That's lovely.
I'm so sorry.
Not at
I'm
all.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. This might happen a couple of times again.
No worries.
It's difficult times. So
It,
going back to my childhood, it's
yes.
when I say it's difficult because it was a lot of work. When I grew up, we grew up in Simla. It was all very beautiful. So it was all nature. So there were sports activities, they were walking to school. School was very beautiful. And I was practicing 8 or 10 hours in 24 hours. So sometimes it was the whole night, 6, 7 hours at night. I was practicing and going to school in the daytime. So because I understood when I was 9, 10, that I had something in me and I needed to give it to the world, but I would have to sharpen it. I would have to make it. So, to the younger people now, and it's not only to do with Shujaat Khan or musicians. I don't want to glorify me.
जी,
I don't want to glorify anything. आप sportsmen को देख लो. You look at any world achieving sportsman you haven't seen. Has anyone seen how many hours Mr. Virat Kohli spends in the gym?
absolutely.
Or on the nets practicing, or how many hours Usain Bolt spent on the tracks, waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every day for years together, practicing in adverse conditions in with grounds in his place where there was not even grass or no synthetic tracks, but practice, practice, practice. So again, it is up to you. I don't want to glorify this. If any of you kids, if you're listening to me or anyone else, if you realize one day that you have something special, must remember that that also to make it, make it into a beautiful bouquet and present it to the world, you have to work very hard. And there's no harm in working hard. It's a beautiful thing. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel warm and happy, and you sleep better, and you stay away from.
And I hope all of you who were listening to this would relate to that 10,000 hour rule. Some of our students hear it from us all the time. And most of you who are under the tutelage of any of the gurus and learning any art form, I think that rush for getting known, recognition is something which needs to be taken easy because what you really want is your art, the divinity of your art to enthrall and to give joy. I believe Shujaji is back again just in time, and you're back just in time, Shujaji, and this is adding to the absolute thrill of this evening and the conversation, I must say. So, Shujaji, you said that you knew that there was something special, or you kind of felt, you realized there was something special you were carrying within all of everything that you were. And we all know about that that very distinctive style of yours, which is the Gaiki Ang. And I think even when you came and performed, and I'm sure the world over as a proponent of that form, would you tell us a little more about uh, what it is really for our audiences, and if there is something that you can share with us?
Again, it's very simple. You would remember you had started off asking me a question about my khandan,
Ji,
and I try and stay away from um, talking very much about my family and the greatness of my family and 7 generations and how great we are and what we have
ji,
done
ji,
and what we've achieved. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many generations I am, whose son I am, what I've done. If I get up on stage and I can't make you happy, it's no use. I am of no use. So Khandan has an importance in for you as a musician, and you grow up and you listen to music all the time and you get a head start and you practice much earlier than others. But again, at the end of the day, it's just Shujaat who you will see once they're on stage. So going back to this, we call it the Gaikiyan because Gana is to sing. And what Vilayat Khan Sahab, my father, did was to try extremely successfully, I must say, to get to copy vocality on instrument wires. Remember, when you pluck a note, pluck a string, it has a certain amount of sound of time it can be. So very successfully to get more melody. At one time, only right hand work was there. It was mostly plucking. Tum tum ta 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 ta. But to involve प्यार का जज्बा नया रंग दिखा देता है gare ni da ni re ga re sa. Now it's you're singing, but you realize that there are so many words, and you if you pluck da 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 da, it'll be the only plucking when there are words. So we learned that way and became very natural for us. I spent so much time doing that apart from that, I'm pretty useless. I must once again talk about the team from HCL and Shiv Nadar who've been helping us. Yesterday, they were trying to set all this up and they asked me to refresh something. And so I said, that means I have to go and wash my face and come back because I'm looking too dowdy. So I'm sorry, but so a single-minded devotion, a single-minded achievement-oriented brain, and again, it doesn't make you crazy. People think that and you have this single-minded thing, you will go crazy, and but it's not true. That I have been able to do lots of other things. I enjoy my sports. When I was younger, it might not look like it, but I used to play a lot of sports. I played cricket, I swam, I played badminton, I squash, and decent, and I still enjoy it now. But again, at the end of the day, there is a part of me which has pursued just music because I want to, when I think of something, I want to get it to you, across to you, as melodiously, as with ease as possible. As a listener, there is no need for you to listen to the pain that I'm going through or the thousands of hours of practice that I have done. You have come to listen to the finished product, to enjoy Indian classical music, to enjoy what I can give. That's my thought. Some people might think that's why aren't you talking about how difficult it is? Because difficult for anything. Look what you have done. You have also where you have got together to today. Have you done it just strolling in the park? It's what you have done, how you have done it, how you have interacted, how your dedication has got you to where you are today. To every person who wants to do something with their life, this is how we go about it. It's nothing special. I'm not special at all.
I think, Shujaji, you just said it. It is the ordinariness which is the real beauty of life. And you bring it out so beautifully when you're singing with the sitar. All of us are witness to it. And I wish we could have had you playing and singing. Probably that will happen another time. You were talking about this journey, and of course, the way you distill all the pain and all of the challenges and bring out that sheer joy. I have been reading and getting to know, and sorry, taking you back. You also was that young lad who would strum on the guitar and play some nice Hindi songs. Anything about that to this young generation who probably feels that music begins and ends there, and that could also be a journey for you to have taken things ahead the way you have? Any of those memoirs of those times?
Most young men will pick up the guitar because if they play the guitar and sing, they look cool. And then some girl in their group is going to think he's cool and it's good and he'll get to go out and have a cup of coffee. this is this is, this is why um, uh, this is why they will pick up the guitar because it's an easy instrument. You sit down, they don't have to pull, it doesn't pain. You just learn the chords and then you whatever it is, and girls think it's very cool. It's all okay. Uh, I'm a very kind of a I'm very passive as far as my music is concerned. Everyone, all the kids, all our adults who are listening to me today, we all have a choice of what we want to listen and what we want to do. As far as music is concerned, we have a choice. आपको क्या सुनना है? If you want to listen to something that is refined, an art form which is extremely researched. It's a fine art. Doesn't have to be Indian classical, but whatever. You can do that. Or you have an option. Again, like I've done the other day, I was just singing एक गाना है डगर चलत मुझे निरार बाट चलत में सखियन साथ डगर चलत so nice words डगर चलत मेरे से छेड़छाड़ तो मैं हंसी मजाक कर रहा था कि another way of expression is मैं तो रास्ते से जा रहा था जा रही थी भेलपूरी खा रहा था तुझे मिर्ची लगे तो, which is fine. This is actually a little funny, jokish kind of thing. Sometimes some of our, especially the words, lyrics today, are damaging to society, damaging to a young person's brain, damage. So what I'm trying to say is we all have a choice as a musician, and I want to tell the youngsters there is no need for you to listen to classical music. There is no need. You can listen to pop music. You can listen to Hindi film music. You can listen to rap, reggae, jazz, whatever you feel like, whatever makes you happy. खुश रहो यार.
सही
If
बात.
stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol, make something of your life, and listen to whatever you have to listen to. But this is Indian classical music is unfortunately the reality of your life, because this is who we are. We are Indians, and inside this is something. This tradition is flowing through our veins. It's like blood in your body. You can't run away from it. I spent so many years traveling the world when I was young, 12, 18, 19, 20. I used to only live on pizzas, live on burgers, live on sandwiches because it worked fine. But there is a time you have to wait for it to realize that no, I also want to have dal and rice and some vegetable or biryani or whatever it is. You have to get back to that. It's an important thing. So with the youngsters, if you want to, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to Indian classical music. If you think it's boring or it's something you have to concentrate and you don't want to, or it takes a longer time, because what Indian classical music does, it's not a 3 minute shot. It takes time to build up. It's like a story. So listen to folk music, listen to Sufi. There's so many kinds of wonderful music. Listen to ghazals, anything. So it's okay if you don't like classical music. It is okay. Don't feel bad. If you listen to some music, just stay away from music that is acid, that is bad, that's harmful. Remember, acid is acid. Whether you touch acid or acid touches you, you are the one who's going to be burnt.
I think it's really wonderful the connect you formed with your audience, Shujaat ji, because the kind of questions I'm seeing coming here are some beautiful questions where the audience says, what are the fundamentals of music that you feel are more important than any genre, and how do we get into replenishing our own music with those fundamentals? Any suggestions for starting to understand these fundamentals of music so we can appreciate it more deeply? These are questions coming from your
Uh,
audience, Shujaji. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll just give you a quick answer. The quick answer is a quick and simple answer is to this question is when you listen, don't analyze. A lot of people disagree. Younger people who are educated, we have got used to analyzing everything. We have got used to everything has to be explained to us like science. ये नहीं है तो वो कैसा है तो ये 35 ये नहीं है तो 55 ये क्या है and that kind of stuff. It is it is unbelievable. My son Azan, he is a total product of what I'm talking about. Azan grew up listening to us at home, but realized that classical music is not the way he wanted to go. He wanted to write his own lyrics. He wanted to look at music in a different way. But it's extremely respectful. It's extremely enjoyable. You should listen to him. His Azan, everyone, you can go onto the net and see him. So I'm just giving his example because he's a younger person. And what he grew up was listening to music because there. So if for a younger person, listen. And when you are listening, don't try and analyze it. So many people come to my concerts. So many. I'm so sorry, but so many people come there, sitting with. Okay, let's see if.
I think what Shujat ji just said, and I'm reading the questions coming from audience, Some are teachers who want to know how to get their children hooked onto music, to learning music, and specifically they're talking about Indian classical music. I think the beautiful message there was don't overanalyze, don't kill the joy of sheer music through overanalysis. And I think that goes for many of the things that we do with our children today. I'm sure all of you will agree with people who have young minds, young hearts growing in a completely different environment. Uh, there is a beautiful statement, Shujaji, when you were slightly, oh, there he's again giving me some space for that. I was reading one of his statements, which meant so much that parampara is a beautiful thing as long as the beauty is implicit in the style and not to use it as a pillow or a couch for constant self aggrandizement. So I think this thing about letting the joy emerge, and Azan he was talking about, who's his son who composes for Odd Bird Theatre, and how wonderful that your child could grow in that parvarish and that freedom and to explore. Yes,
And
over to
we
you.
should, sorry, going jumping back.
Yeah.
Again, it's the same thing. All the parents who are listening, all the young people, please listen to whatever you feel like, bottom line. But again, understand that if you're going to listen to lyrics which are hurtful, painful, kill this person, do this, rape, rob, plunder, whatever the hell it is that is what is going to harm you one day. It's going to make you into a person who's not really fun to be around. You listen to fun things, if you listen to music with your friends, whatever it is, सुनो यार, खुश रहो. और क्लासिकल म्यूजिक आपको खुश नहीं करता तो ठीक है, बट लाइक आई सेड देयर आर पीपल who come to the concert only there to sit around and tell their friends how many mistakes they were able to find in Shujaat's concert. But the funny thing is, this guy or these people keep coming back. I see them all the time. They're back. If you don't like someone's music, don't go. But Shiv Kumar Sharma ji very nicely explained to me one day. He said, Shujat, मैं किसी का म्यूजिक सुनने जाता हूँ और आराम से चैन से बैठ के अपना दिमाग को I just let the music seep in. Just उसको महसूस करो. Feel your music. Open your eyes, your heart, and your soul, and allow Shujaat, Shivji, Ustad Shujaat Khan, whoever it is, allow that music to seep in to your body. Then you will see how you enjoy. This is millions and thousands of years of tradition. It's a beautiful thing. Give it a chance.
How beautiful is that message? How beautiful is that message, Shujaji? And for there are a couple of questions. एक मोहतरमा लिखती हैं कि one gets dejected in life sometimes, even if your work is your passion. There are times when you feel completely demotivated. Here's the message to you, Trishita, that let joy be experienced. Give it time to come out, give it the space, give it your complete unleashing of that joy to come out. Over to you, Shujaji, for your. Can you hear me, Shujaji? Are you? Am I audible?
I can hear you. You had cut off for a second, but you're back.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to Lajo Lajo, which is a question also coming that in the year 1995, you released this very famous folk and Sufi composition. So what inspired you? What motivated you? And how beautifully you've blended once again tradition and individual expression and creativity. We'd love to hear from you, Shujaji.
The only thing that I'm surprised about is that after 25 years, 25 ho gaye na? 95 say how many it is it? I'm not good with maths. 25 years?
Yeah.
95, 1, 5, yeah, something like that. People still want to listen to and still ask me to play Lajo Lajo and sing Lajo Lajo. There's nothing. I don't want to again glorify the thing that this inspired me and that inspired me. It's a theatrical बातें हैं. This is all to make legends of yourself. Everything inspires. The color, you're sitting in a place, and the color behind you, there's this orange wall with this beautiful painting there with the colors of that, with that blue and that white. That is also an inspiration, a thought process. Ye rang that will transcribe itself in my music in some way or the other.
Wow.
You get inspiration from everything. This was just a song. I grew up sitting with masters, spending loads of times with great masters of our time. And I was sitting with, I've heard this sung by, you know, Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahib, one of the
Ji,
greatest
ji,
singers of the bygone era.
ji.
His son, Munawar Khan Sahib, was a great singer, was a great friend of my father's. And he used to come home. This is Punjabi, and he was Punjabi. So he used to sing this. And I heard it from him, and then I heard it from a few other, one or two other, I found recordings, some other folk musicians from Punjab. So I heard it. It's just a very simple, really, lajo means to be large, sharam, sharam. So every Lajo is the name, or everyone calls her Lajo. Probably her name was Lajwanti or whatever
Yeah.
in the village, and everyone is teasing her that she is now about to get married, and this is what the person you're going to get married, your fiance, is going to look like. But it is, I think, the simplicity of this thing that is very exciting. Is it? लाजो लाजो हाय लाजो लाजो ये जो तर्ज है even this composition is so simple लाजो लाजो हाय लाजो लाजो बड़े जाते दा बमरे ठाला जो लाजो जो बड़े बड़े जात का ब्राह्मण है जिससे तुम्हारी शादी होने वाली so I think what grabbed people that it is a sitarist who plays the sitar and
Mm.
he's found beautiful words and is singing along with it. For the first 10 years, there were more brickbats than bouquets for me because
Yes.
everyone was, why is Shujaat doing this? Why is Shujaat doing that? Why doesn't he? Why is he? And I kept trying to tell them I'm not a singer, so I'm not trying to establish a parallel profession. If I would, I'm so beautiful, I probably would have become a dancer. So, so they used to laugh about that. But okay, I'm coming back.
Wonderful.
It's it's not a parallel profession. I am not a singer, but all I am doing, if there are some pretty words, I am some nice words. I am just exchanging those words. I am just uh, exchanging the beauty of the words with people. And the words are simple, and the tune is very simple. So that is all. And I think it grabbed people. And I'm really grateful. I'm thankful when people ask me to sing this again and again. And now it's the next generation who has also come into classical music or listening to music, starting with this because they heard their parents playing this at home while they were growing up over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And and so they got used to it and come to this concert and to my concerts and then gradually start listening to other music also. So it is, I'm happy that it has got people in to come and listen to what we are. Simple, very simple.
जी. I think this message जो आप बार बार कह रहे हैं, this beauty. First thing is that it lies in the eyes of the beholder. आपकी नजर में है. You have to just catch it. And the simplicity. So this message all the time, and we look at the world which is getting more and more complex in the way it is. And today we realize that सिर्फ खाना चाहिए और थोड़ा सा प्यार चाहिए and everyone is surviving wherever they are. So what would you think is the message in these troubled times where people, there are multiple questions where people are saying, I love music, but how do you really see the role of music uh, Aj, when we're all living through these times, like it or not, however positive you are, you're worried about your near and dear ones, you're worried about the world, you're worried about those who do not have the privileges many have. Is there some message through your music or through anything that you'd like to say to all, which they can, which give them more courage to fight ahead, maybe a long, long fight ahead for all of us.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, it's very simple. If we get cut off, I'll come back to this.
Gee.
Um, Over the last many years, we as a race, not as a nation, but as a race, the whole world, have involved ourselves with so much technology, so much getting so busy earning money, or being on your phone, or shopping, or accumulating more money, or getting more famous, that you got so busy and made yourself so busy that you have forgotten there are different emotions in our life, and there is pain, sorrow, hurt, and fear. These are also emotions. But because their pace of life is so quick, they're only thinking of anytime they feel anything coming close, they cover it with again technology, getting to the car, going out, going having coffee, sitting at a bar, going and shopping, retail therapy, getting onto flight, going off to some far distance. What I'm saying is, these are all emotions: pain, sorrow, unhappiness, and fear. These are, I have all my life understood that these are also emotions that we feel, and it's okay. It is okay. These are okay. This doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you lesser of a human being. These are okay. We have had wonderful times. We are still, you and me are talking. We are laughing. Everyone is walked to a success, done ABCD. But now we are going through a very difficult phase. We have to keep our head above water and hope. There is, at the end of the day, there is hope. I have a lot of hope. I have hope that this is something that we'll all face, and then it will get over it. We'll get past it. It's nature telling us, telling everyone who leaves their water taps on, who leaves their electricity on, who is using air conditioners unnecessarily, not listening to people. So all these things, it is a slap on our face from nature. But I don't fear it because I always am careful about wastage on every level. My father, if I left one piece of roti on my plate, would be presented to me at dinner and say, "Pehle ye khatam karo, then you will get to eat something else." I am from that time, and those are my values. My value is that if you don't need something, don't take it on your plate. If you don't need something, you don't have to. This big cars, big homes, greenery, yeah, water. So for me, it's okay. We are all fearful, but we are all together. If we are
Wonderful.
together, and it will come out of this way. One day, I will be sitting in front of you again, and you will be in the theater, and
Yeah.
I'll be playing music, and hopefully, you'll be enjoying.
Absolutely. On this note, Shujaji, what a wonderful message of hope, frugality, hope that we'll be listening to you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure all the viewers, the audience would have culled out so many learnings from this session. We wish to thank you. It has been truly an honor for me. And I thank the Shiv Nadar Foundation as well for creating this space. Thank you so much, Shujaji. And I wish to once
My
again say
pleasure.
we're waiting for you to
Gee.
come and bring us back into that joyful
Mhm.
learning state. I wish to remind all our viewers, and thanking all our viewers once again, that this conversation will continue to be available on the Shiv Nadar Foundation Facebook page in case you like to come back. And I'm sure most of us would like to come back to this another time. Thank you, Shujaji, and thank you, everyone, for being here. This was
Bye
indeed
bye.
a
Bye
lovely
bye.
evening.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.